Good afternoon, folks. I'm Danny Pacheco with Liberty Freedom Network, and here I am with Mr. Dean Tornabene. And first off, I'd like to take just a couple of minutes, Dean, to just formally thank you. The SOS system has done a tremendous impact on my life, the quality of life that I have, and also it's going to add to that life. You know, I have 6 children, and so I have to be here for a very long time.
That
so
you do.
This is actually going to help me get there. So I want to really thank you for introducing us to the SOS system and bringing it on board at the Liberty Freedom Network. Along with that, I just wanted you to take a few minutes to talk to us a little bit about how this system is going to impact, from a business standpoint, a lot of people out there that are looking for a way not only to look great, but also to make some money.
Well, that's and you know, Danny, you hit the nail on the head, because when you look great, you feel great, and when you're kind of carrying your badge, when you look great, people can see it. It's, you know, if you feel great, they may not be able to see how you feel, but they know how you look. So that being said, you become, or whoever becomes a poster. They become an advertisement for the system itself and for the efficacy therein. And when you think of how Liberty has priced the system and the great value that they're getting for these 3 products, in my opinion, you couldn't go out there and find these 3 products alone for the value that this system is being offered for. It's absolutely terrific, especially with the quality of the product. That being said, the ability to be able to offer this and to share this with others and to share the goodness that you feel and the way you look with other people, and also not only to get them feeling better and feeling stronger and feeling leaner, but they're also going to be able to have a great income based on sharing the very same thing that you did with them. They're going to be able to do the same thing. So from that standpoint, I believe that the structure that Liberty Freedom has in place and the method by which they do the distribution, and also the loyalty of the network and the terrific need for this type of product right now, you can't fail. It's no one can fail. It's impossible.
Well, you know, Dean, there's a lot of people out there that are looking for an opportunity right now. They have so many different things to choose from. Now, you've been involved in weight loss, you've been involved in direct sales, in the industry, and so you've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. So compared to all of those other opportunities that are floating around out there, pretty much distracting a lot of people that are really looking for the real thing, how do we compare as far as value, price? So you mentioned a little bit about that, but you know, from seeing some of the other things out there, how do we match up?
Well, you ever hear the artist Sinead O'Connor? Mm-hmm. Okay, nothing compares to you, her very famous song. Nothing compares to this. And I'll tell you why. Because this is a family. This is a culture. You don't have some hired guns here who haven't used the product, who hired somebody to formulate a product with a bunch of guys in white coats. We care. We care because inside of this product is us, part of our love, and that is critical. My mother's one of the best cooks in the world, right? You could have a team of NASA scientists surrounding her making her food. It would never taste the same because she does it with love, because she cares. The same is true with this group. And I've met you, I know your wife, I know Randy, and it's just a community. And what you've done in this little nucleus, that little nucleus is going to spread like wildfire. And I think that's a terrific. I've been involved in gigantic MLMs and we've made a fortune, but that's not all there is. Making money is important for sure, but having the family, having the community, having the verve, and having the unity that comes with this, I think is Liberty Freedom is unique in that way. And that's the first thing that I sensed when you and I met. Even though we arm wrestled and I let you win, that's what I sense. And I think that because of that, I think because of the one-on-one, because of the hand touching, where you are accessible. You know, your wife is accessible, Randy's accessible, I'm accessible. I think that's important because we care. We're not up in an ivory tower. We're in the trenches with the troops. We're there to help them. And I think that's a huge difference, and I think it's going to make us incredibly successful.
Well, I think it's very important to point out that when this was when this was introduced to us for the very first time, I don't know if you remember this, Dean, but we had a conversation, and in that conversation I said, well, look, Dean, there's a lot of people that want to bring products into Liberty Freedom Network, but there's just absolutely one thing that we cannot do, and we can't put our names behind something if it's just to make money. And it was all about being able to get the results and get the success from the system where we were a product of the product before we let it out to the troops. Do you remember that
I
conversation?
sure do. And I laugh because what it reminds me of, there was a very famous commercial. There's a guy who's the president of the Hair Club for Men. And the punchline is, not only am I, yeah, so don't ever think about it. I like that look on you. Not only am I the president, but I'm a successful end user. And he pulls it. The bottom line is that there's no denying. It's like if you really use something, if you've really seen a ghost, people know. And if you've really used this and you really have the success, people know that you're telling the truth. And that was one of the things that attracted me to this, because, hey, I'm in front of this. This is my, my name, my endorsement. I mean, it's huge, just like you. So it's very, very important. And I really respected that item. And it was one of the most appealing things to me about the whole liberty freedom situation.
Well, I think also what I'd like to point out is that this is a system that anybody can do. I mean, I've struggled with weight all my life. I'm not one of those people that could say, oh, I've lost weight and I'm finally back in shape like I was when I was 18. I can't say that. I mean, I know that you have really great genetics. My genetics, our genetic pool wasn't as lucky as yours. And so there's been, health issues, and there's been obesity and things in my family. And so, I think that if I can do this system, with zero exercise. Now, I'm not suggesting you don't exercise, but I'm saying because I got so big at 310 pounds, I just couldn't do it. So if I could do it, that pretty much opens it up for just about everybody out there.
And I think that's critical, because like you said, there's a small infantile percentage of people that maybe have genetically blessed. They can eat anything they want. They don't gain a pound, whatever. But that's the exception and not the rule. To have a system that is so easy to use, so easy to adopt, it almost makes you want to exercise. As you know, you feel better. You go, I'm going to walk instead of drive. It's magic. But that is a critical component, Danny, no doubt. It's got to be user-friendly. It can't be exotic. It can't not taste good. It can't be hard to use. Pills and potions, your house is blowing up. This is easy to use. And that barrier to entry is zero. And that's going to give us a tremendous edge in the market.
So from a business opportunity standpoint, from the efficacy of the product standpoint, what's left?
Total domination, which is exactly what we're going to do.
Well, there's also one other thing that's going to help us out, and as you know, the creator of Liberty Freedom Network came up with a concept that, there's a lot of other companies out there that now have adopted that into their culture, which is our Refer 3 and It's Free program. So literally, somebody could get on this system and lose weight absolutely free.
And think about with an obesity rate in the U.S. of almost 40%, if 25% of that, if you bought one, 25% of that number would have this for absolutely no charge whatsoever. I mean, think about that. Think about giving somebody years back to their life for free. Priceless.
Absolutely.
Priceless.
Well, Dean, once again, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, from Carla, the bottom of her heart. You've given her back her teddy bear.
My pleasure.
Thanks, Dean.
You're welcome.